Peace, peace, peace. Grand Rising. Good morning. It's good to be back here with the family. Daily energy readings. Hope everybody had a good holidays or however you like to call it. I've been doing the same thing. I've been kind of battling certain things and understanding certain things and been doing some research in the meantime. So really I'm here to share my research over these past weekends, share some experience over these past weekends, and kind of come back to a point A and see tomorrow we'll get to a point B. So the title of this video is called Resolutions, and it's actually a part one. So what I would like is for people to understand what I'm trying to say. I've always wanted people to understand what I'm saying, and not worry about me personally, because me personally is not that interesting, just a regular normal person. But the things that I'm saying is not from me, a human perspective, is really from a spiritual, insightful perspective. And I just hope that people understand that. So Resolutions is the title of this like two-part series, where that's basically what it is. How do we resolve any issues that we're having? And there could be two negatives to that. One, you don't realize that it's an issue because because you're conscious, and conscious people don't have issues. Or B, that issue is too big to deal with, so you ignore it and you move forward without dealing with core issues, and now you deal with particular negative manifestations about it. But the whole point of this thing is to understand negative manifestations and why they are in our lives. And so peace to the family. Glad to be with you again. I was dealing with some I wouldn't say I was sick. I would say that I was fighting back, from whatever sickness or disease was trying to attack me. Say what? Yeah, the whole house was kind of dealing with a negative vibration that we had to kind of fight back. And if we didn't fight back, it would be you would be like, damn, that's real fucked up, what's going on. But generally we are a family full of fighters. We don't fight each other, but we do fight the world or fight any type of negative energies that come our way. We sort of like the Incredibles when I think about it. But yeah, so that was this weekend, and now we're here, and I want to talk about this astrology and pinpoint some things. So we've been talking about this grand trine for a while, but it's finally about to move out of trine status. So we just want to bring a real light to it, and then also point out a square to this energy, and then take a step back. If you was watching the intro, I had a Bible verse that I'm gonna really elaborate after I deal with this astrology. So this is mainly the build up, the setup, and then once we deal with the setup, we'll be able to really get a resolution, okay? But you got to take notes. You got to be active with the information and understand that that's what this channel is for. This channel is for information, psychological, esoteric, magical information that's going to sustain you, propel you, and drive you forward, whatever you're doing. If you're an artist, if you're a banker, if you're work at the Kroger, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is all beneficial information. So this is what's so beautiful about this information, that I think. So mainly we're dealing with the conjunction of three planets, Sun, Jupiter, Mercury. But as you know, Jupiter has always been at the spot of this trine, and Jupiter is moving forward out of this trine ship with these planets, with these astrological nodes, Chiron and the true node. It's moving out of it. So understanding what it is, understanding this point in time that we've been going through, maybe since October, maybe the middle of October, and the realization of difficulties, the realization of hardship, the realization that, oh, it's not as sweet as I would like it to be. And then getting over the egoic part that maybe you was ignoring. And then are you actually healing it? Are you actually resolving it? Or is it now the fact that, see, what healing isn't is not healing. I know that didn't make sense, but let me try to explain. Healing isn't your problems going away. Healing is you facing your problems and resolving your problems. This is one thing that I learned from work. Sometimes I get a call, right? An outrageous call, and maybe I don't feel like taking it, but the whole network is down. The cashier can't clock in, and you know, everything is horrible. But I still gotta deal with it, even if I don't know how to resolve it. Like, I can't just be like, you know what? Let me call you back because this shit is crazy. I have to just be like, all right, I see you have a list of problems, ma'am. Let's deal with problem A, problem B, problem C, all the way to Zeta if we have to. Let's deal with each problem one by one, because I'm one person, you one person. Technology is beyond our touch sometimes, and we just gonna have to deal with these things. This is why, like, I was gonna brag, but I ain't gonna brag. This is why you can resolve a lot of issues when you just deal with them. But that's not human nature in 2018 in society, though. People don't want to resolve the conflicts or resolve the issues or deal with the real shit. And because of that, we all live in a state of being held back. Like the crux of the end of Sausage Party. Like, once you finally defeat whoever you need to defeat, and then you just looking at each other like, all right, what is we about to do now? Kind of thing. So we got to realize that the energy of being held back and the energy of being propelled are the same energy. How do we understand the fact that we're being held back, or, you know, whatever we dealing with? If we redirect that energy 10 times out of 10, that same thing is going to propel us. And if you don't understand that, let me give you a personal experience. I was, you know, paralyzingly shy. Like, I mean, I damn near wanted to go to the doctor and get medicine because I was so shy. Like, if somebody would talk to me, I would just shut down. For years, I had to be comfortable to even talk to people. So I was that shy. Now, naturally, you can see how that can hold me back over years with different opportunities and having different talents and being a good guy, but being so shy that when people would engage with me, I could not, you know, talk back. And if you know me now, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. But you got to understand that me being shy held me out of so many different places and held me back from so many experiences that I'll be damned if I live my life continuously being shy, and therefore that same energy now pushes me forward at 34 years of age. Because I cannot take back the shit of who I thought I was in my past life, whether it be that I was stupid, whether it be that I'd be unattractive, all of these things that I once believed of myself. It'd be the same shit that hold me back from my relationships, from my career opportunities, from anything. Now, in a space where, okay, that was that, but this is now. And really like, okay, and then having people that actually know me, like, damn, that's a switch, that's a flip. Because the same things that held me back is now pushing me forward. And it's self-evident. I don't have to even stunt or front or brag or nothing like that. I could easily explain to you my come up. I could easily explain to you my peace and joy. I could tell you exactly how it is, because it's the same energy. Because if anybody is going through something right now, you the same person that's going to be able to flip it and tell people like, yo, I was going through this, now I'm doing that, and because I'm doing that, everything that I used to do is unimportant, is invalid. Yeah, I was the fattest nigga in high school. Like, all of that shit. Everybody was passing out love notes. I ain't get no love notes. But shit, that shit don't matter to me now, because like that could have been my story though, is what I'm trying to say. I could have kept that same story up. I could have kept, you know, talking about how life done did me wrong. And trust me, I got a whole notebook of, you know, stories of how life done did me wrong. But the reality is we dealing with alchemy. And this is the alchemist's grand trine, and it's providing this wisdom beyond tragedy if you are available and open to it. If you closed off to it, if you like, you know, my negativity or whatever the case may be is more important than my joy or my come up. And, you know, I hear you, hood mystic, but, you know, my life was just too bad. My daddy left me. I ain't laughing at your daddy left you, because my daddy left me too, but who gives a fuck? 2018, like right now in this moment, who gives a shit? Especially now when you think about the different modalities and the different ways that we can heal ourselves and be mindful. And so what I want us to do now is understand the idea. Before I talk about moon opposed Pluto, I really want to talk about the idea of a crux or a cross, because I'm gonna point out this Bible verse, and then I'm gonna explain what a cross is. And trust me, I'm not religious. I just like the Bible the same way I like any other book that I'll be talking to y'all about. And so to get out of the concept of Jesus being a man, let's just say Jesus is the Christ consciousness, or, you know, the elevated state of mind. And so if the elevated state of mind said to the disciples, if anyone wishes to follow me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So the point that I want to point out to is when it says take up his cross. So what are they talking about when they say take up his cross? Because me, I was interested in, you know, take up his cross. Like, what is take up his cross? And so I just went straight up into the etymology. And so from the etymology, I found the word crux. And from the word crux, I found the words heap or hill or summit, or the figurative use, a central difficulty. So for me to pick up my cross is for me to understand that I'm supposed to have difficulties in my motherfucking life. I'm supposed to have them. And I'm supposed to address them and deal with them consciously, effectively every day. And I'm not supposed to show up in my relationships as if I do not have difficulties, because that's the #1 way motherfuckers can have you fucked up for real. Because they think that, oh, you don't never have problems. Oh, you always got it. Oh, I can always call on Kyrie. Oh, like... 8 times out of 10, I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, people going to come to me with their problems. And I'm not going to cut the phone off or avoid their problems. I'm going to seek for a resolvement. Have you thought about this? Are you making sure that is taken care of? You know, that type of thing. Because the reality is, people act like they're not supposed to have difficulties, or that somebody that's going to come into their life is going to heal them, or it's their responsibility to heal them. And when I say I'm a healer, I'm speaking like I am a healer because I have healed myself. Meaning you are a healer too, because you can heal yourself too. There's nothing that I've done that can't no other human being have done. So that's why I have to be so literal and so direct and so matter of fact, and point out, you know, the fact that astrology is valid for all of us. We could all go to planetwatcher.com and pull up this same document and look up these same points and understand this energy. And the reason why I say a cross is because when I look at the sun square Mars, Pluto opposed moon, it looks like a damn cross. So I'm not going to be so high and mighty to not look up what is a cross? I mean, I know what a cross is, but why is it in the Bible? And then you think about the mind control of it, right? Because say, for instance, Jesus died on the cross, right? Everybody knows that, right? Jesus died on the cross. So Jesus died at his central difficulty. And if we know anything about the Christian realm of thought, like it's pervade in all thought structures. It's like you go to school, but it's a Christian school because y'all get married and y'all have Christian values. Y'all get out of school on Christmas. Like everything is Christian mind control. And if Jesus died on the cross, that means even if you don't understand it, even if you don't believe in Jesus, if you if you living in this American lifestyle, you're not supposed to deal with central difficulties, because your central difficulty is the thing that, you know, Jesus died on. It's like a thing that, like, if Jesus can't get over his central difficulties, then how the fuck can you get over your central difficulties? Jesus died. So therefore, it's like, you know, when we have problems, it's like, shit, I don't want to go through this central difficulty because I feel like I'm gonna die. But we need to take 10 steps way back from the Christian thoughts. We got to step all the way back and be like, it's just a damn hill. I can walk over this hill. I done walked over hills before. I done had difficulties before. I done been in high school before. Got over that shit. I done been in my 20s before. I done got over that shit. I done been broke before. I done got over that shit. I ain't had no job before. I done got over that shit. I done, you know, I ain't have no girlfriend before. I done got over that shit. So wherever we at is a central difficulty, but goddamn, my nigga, take some steps back and realize that you can easily walk over this hill, and there may be another hill after that hill too. But this Christian mindset is like, you know, these is the same hills that Jesus died on, and I ain't trying to die. But you got to realize that mind control is so subtle, so slick. He was resurrected 3 days later. But then you got to understand, like, you never seen a motherfucking chain with Jesus coming out of the tomb, flying. You only see the chains where he on the cross dead. That's the symbolism.
But it's not like getting over symbolism.
if that's what you gonna focus on, if you gonna focus on him getting over the hill, like Jesus was resurrected, like if that was a thing of, you know, contention, like his resurrection is everything that we focus on, but that's not everything that we focus on. Like we celebrate Easter every year, or Easter every year, but the same way we celebrate Good Friday. Like, I don't know. It's just how I took it, where I wouldn't necessarily, if I resurrected, then I never died. That's how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would, if I resurrected, then the whole point of my life is that my life is ever evolving and that I lived. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even have been a point of contention. Like, the #1 movie is The Passion of the Christ, and none of that movie was this nigga flying around, you know, being great. He was getting his ass whipped the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm gonna follow this nigga, then I'm gonna walk in his path. Then naturally, I'm about to get my ass whooped for the whole movie. And then I'm gonna resurrect once I die on my motherfucking central difficulty. I'm gonna die, then I'm gonna resurrect, basically. After I got my ass kicked the whole movie. You understand what I'm saying? And if you gonna follow this path, that's cool. I'm just saying, this shit kind of weird to me, and I would take 10 steps back and be like, I don't want to get my ass kicked every day just to resurrect when I fucking die. Because I could not deal with my central difficulties, because I had core beliefs that I just was like, man, fuck that shit. I'ma resurrect one day. Fuck 'em. Like,
That's the cycle.
Yeah. I'm taking steps back. You understand? And so the square to this energy, the square to Mars, like when we was talking about the full moon, or last Friday where we was talking about traffic, like understanding this energy, understanding how to assert yourself. Like if you're in traffic, right? There's like 6, 7, it's 5, 6, 7 degree of Mars. It's traffic, group responsibility, and self-assertion, which makes a lot of sense to me, because the idea of traffic, right, is the idea that you got to think about everybody around you, but then you can't be no punk ass either, because you will get ran the fuck over. So we got to use our imagination. When I'm like, if you in New York City and you driving like a punk ass, and you ain't like you ain't driving assertive, like you might get like your car's gonna get tore up, like, or Hong Kong or somewhere like that. Like you gotta get with it, or India, somewhere like you gotta get with it. So it's like in life, it's a traffic jam. You ain't like, sometimes you ever think that you gonna show up somewhere and you think you gonna be the only one there, or you the only one who got this idea, and you show up, it's 50 other motherfuckers with the same idea, might look better than you, taller, like, oh shit, I was misinformed like hell. Like, you understand? Like, you gotta be that one though. You understand? You can't even think that, okay, I'm the only person here and I'm just in my own world. Like, no, you gotta really understand, like, it's other people trying to get to where you're trying to get to, but is you gonna assert yourself? And so the energy that, you know, conspires with Mars, but is kind of distant from Mars, is the energy of Neptune going direct. And so it's like, I could easily be like, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, but that's going to be really defeating the purpose, you know, of Neptune going direct in the 13th degree of Pisces. A point of spiritual willpower, because I can simply just be like, I just want what my soul wants, I want what my higher self wants, I want what my full moon in Gemini, you know, manifestation wants. Spiritual willpower. Very poignant points, you know. And real quick, I want to deal with Moon opposed Pluto. Pluto is at a space of accelerated growth. It's been posted up at this 19th degree mark for a while now, and this accelerated growth is real. If you're willing to transform yourself, if you're willing to do different shit that really works towards this energy, then your growth will be accelerated. You don't know who gonna respond to you and vibrate to you when you being so authentic and so real, and you dealing with your healing. You dealing with your transformation. Of course, Cancer is where the moon is at. And just integrating all of this energy. Like integrating it all, really understanding that all is one, and it's not so much of a mental thing. A lot of it could be a you know, positive energy action thing that could really shift your vibration, shift your ways. Like today could be a day where you really act out in a positive way and really shift the paradigm. Like imagine if, you know, a majority of the population just operated from a positive, impactful, energetic, active way. It wasn't like passive, like, oh, I'm thinking about you, brother, I love you, brother. Like, no, people decided to do something that was in a positive, active, energetic exchange way, and not just today, made it kind of like a practice, and then kind of look back at their lives like, you know, that was a good call. And I can only speak from revelation. I can only speak from experience of dealing with this Pluto energy, because if y'all don't know, I'm a first house Pluto, so I'm all about transformation. And so transformation for me, this is what it looks like. So you know, have a good time today, basically, is what I'm saying. Reach out and touch somebody. And so the tarot card of the day, we're going to still continue with these things. This is not really a deep card, man. This is really talking about your psychic abilities and your psychic awareness, right? And it's found in the tarot card dance. What would be the chariot card in a Thoth tarot deck, or the Rider-Waite deck, but the chariot, right? So understanding, you know, dance is really about psychic information, right? And it's like, well, what are you talking about? Like dance, like, let's be so literal here. Let's not be so imaginative or so like weird about it. Let's just understand the concept of dancing, right? Like, of course we can study somebody's moves, we can write down the moves and choreograph the moves, but then if you hear like Cash Money taking over for the 99 and the 2000, and you hit the dance floor with your notebook, like, and then you start like doing your steps, like you never seen that, right? So the idea is, when we talk about this psychic dance and we talk about living this psychic life, it is not literal. You got to kind of dance with this shit. And who's to say how your body going to move and how you going to really gyrate or come up, or what's going to come out of your body when you allow yourself to dance and allow yourself to move. But I'm telling you, it's healing, and I'm telling you that it's a psychic vibration. But what is dancing teaching us? Dancing is teaching us to do what comes naturally, without self-examination, without self-judgment, without anything, right? Who knows? How could you explain dancing to niggas? Like, you can't really explain it. You gotta witness it, whether you're in a strip club or at a house party, or you know what I'm saying, like that. Like, it's just amazing. Whether you in your room, you know. So like I said, this is a two-parter, dealing with certain types of resolutions within ourselves and within our being and our everyday understanding. Understand that I had a lot to say, and I said a lot within a short period of time. You may want to listen to this video again, take notes, and incorporate it and apply it in your everyday natural life. Like, what is your central difficulty? Are you dealing with it? Like, and central difficulties is like, whew, some real shit. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with that, as opposed to, I ain't got no money. Why the hell don't you always have, why don't you never not have no money then? Like, dealing with that, you know. I ain't got nobody. Why? But you, though. But you. Not them. Because, like, me and my wife, we've been talking about this pattern. We've been talking about, like, different situations. And she might ask me a question like, you know, why is this person retreating? I'm like, because they're judging you. And when you come towards them, they're going to attack you. It's very animalistic the way people are sometimes, especially when you're loving towards them. That animalistic nature, that competitive nature comes to the surface, and they'll retreat and they'll judge. And when they're retreating, if you go towards them, they're going to attack you. And you could have been loving them the whole time. But that's like you dealing with a goddamn lion. And you a human being, and you like, oh, the lion's so cute. I want to hug it. I want to kiss it. Oh, it's so cute. That lion gonna fuck you up. And what the hell? Like, you know, you gotta understand, sometimes people is on an animal level. Especially if their diet consists of animals. So not to say that people that eat meat is crazy, but you know, I'm not even gonna get into that conversation, but I'm just saying it could be a goddamn vegan that's on an animalistic level. I'm not saying one thing or another, but it gotta be a point of true love and true realization. So, you know, I love y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for resolutions part 2. We deal with more resolutions. We deal with this energy just more intensified. So see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Good job.